Hacker.
Talk about a fried egg. I lasted about 5 minutes out there. I said, to heck with this. I'll do this in the morning. And I don't have any inside information. The lady that did it, she got in there. She made it happen.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
And I do enjoy drinking cold beer at ballparks. So if that makes me a baseball fan, then I'm a diehard baseball fan.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Wednesday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is Hacker After Dark, 1010XL 92.5 FM with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us. A Wednesday that finds us that much closer to the Jaguars regular season opener on Sunday. A Wednesday that has us now 24 hours away from the NFL regular season kicking off with Dallas and Philadelphia tomorrow night. And a Wednesday that has us that much closer to both Friday night high school football and, of course, Saturday with South Florida visiting Gainesville. You got the first SEC game of the year, Ole Miss, Kentucky. And I guess the big game nationally this week is Michigan and Oklahoma. So we have an absolute ton to get into. We are with you till 10 o'clock. As always, we are glad you are spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. It was great being back inside the Jaguar locker room. Now the season is here. When we're at training camp, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. We get to talk to players out on the field, but there is something about going into that locker room week one, the first time, talking to the guys, talking about Carolina, getting a sense of what's going on, and I was able to do that today down at the Miller Electric Center. I caught up with a number of guys. You'll hear some of the conversations tomorrow. The ones you will hear tonight are Jaguar defensive back Jordan Lewis. I went one-on-one with him in the Jaguar locker room earlier today, as well as Jaguar defensive lineman Dewan Smoot. And it was interesting. I had a cool moment with Dewan Smoot. So like 7 years ago, it had to be about 7 years ago, and the reason I know that, Dewan and I were seated next to one another in a fathers-to-be class. Little Hack was getting set to be born. Dewan was about to have his first child as well. And you know those fathers-to-be classes? Well, me and Dewan Smoot were right next to one another. And I had never brought that up with him, and then he left for Buffalo, and I saw him today in the locker room, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to bring it up. I'm going to be like, Dewan, there's no way you remember this. But I laid it out there, told him, that Ryan Green, 1010XL, I was in that fathers-to-be class with you. And Denmark, I think it was a bonding moment between me and Dewan Smoot. There was a fist pound involved afterwards. I think there was a nice moment that we shared together. So I'm very excited about that. And I did a one-on-one interview with Dewan Smoot to boot. So you'll hear that conversation along with Jordan Lewis. And I told Baloo this earlier. Truthfully, I didn't know much about Jordan Lewis before he signed here. I knew who he was because I'd watched Dallas games in the past, but I didn't know a lot about him. Every time I talk to that guy, every time I see him practice, can't wait to see him in a regular season game, unbelievably impressive. Just unbelievably impressive. So the Jaguar locker room one-on-ones tonight, Jordan Lewis and Dewan Smoot are coming up in the next segment. You'll also hear from former Jaguar Pro Bowl offensive tackle Leon Searcy. You get him every day on prime time. You'll also get him this year on the fifth quarter. I'll have Leon tonight on Hacker After Dark in about 30 minutes or so. Also, the coach Gerald Ingram joins me in the 9 o'clock hour. He's our new coach on the fifth quarter. 18 years of NFL coaching experience, a couple of Super Bowl rings as running backs coach for the New York Giants. And it'll be myself, Gerald Ingram, and Leon Searcy 2 hours after every Jaguar football game this fall for the fifth quarter. And I will have both Leon and Coach Ingram on tonight here on Hacker After Dark. So we are absolutely loaded. Again, we're with it till 10 o'clock, and we're happy you're spending part of your Wednesday evening with us. Every night here on Hacker After Dark, we do kick it off with a big deal of the night. And Dylan Denmark, let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal?
What is the big deal?
No, because it is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
15 and 15. Denmark, have any idea what that is? A record of 15-15?
Probably the Jags' last 30 games.
Jags' last 30 games, if you're counting week 1 in franchise history. 15 wins, 15 losses in week 1 contests as they enter season number 31. Can they get above 500? It's hard to believe they're exactly 15-15 in 30 years of season openers. By the way, 15-15 in their last 30 would be awesome, but unfortunately they did lose 18 of their last 23 that they've played. And that's why Liam Cohen's here. That's why James Gladstone is here. That's why Tony Boselli has the role he does, because they've been awful for the last 23 games. But again, in the 30 seasons of Jaguar football, in season openers, they've won 15 and they've lost 15. You know, we always talk about this time of year getting off to a quick start, right? Getting off to a fast start, building confidence going into the season. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. But what I want to talk to you about right now has very little to do with the team and what's actually going to transpire on the field on Sunday. I think for this fan base, for you, Jaguar fan that has suffered with this franchise for an overwhelming majority of the last 15 plus years, the team needs to get off to a fast start. The team needs to win on Sunday. The team needs to give some confidence going into the year to you. How many times, how many years have you listened to 1010XL, myself included? I'm not going to throw stones in a glass house. And you've been excited during the off season, and you're fired up, and you're ready to go, and September rolls around, and it's just like, oh, here we go again. Groundhog Day here in Jacksonville again. Loss after loss after loss. And at a certain point, that beats you down. At a certain point, that wears you out. I get it. Try doing the fifth quarter for the last decade plus. Loss after loss after loss. It's tough. And every year, we make the same mistake, we being, fans, media, and it's in every market. Hope springs eternal in the summer months. You get high for the season, and then you snap your fingers and the Jaguars are 1-5 and the season's over. How many times has that happened to us? So now here we are again. The honeymoon period for Liam Cohen and for James Gladstone and Tony Boselli. Things have been awesome. We love the direction, right? Let's go out there and win a freaking football game on Sunday to keep this momentum going. Let's be very un-Jaguar in the last couple of years. Let's not get excited and then have a big dud on the field. Let's get excited and then actually back it up with what the team shows us on Sunday afternoon. Jaguar fans, you have suffered enough. This offseason has been full of hope and promise, like most have been. And every September, basically, for the last 15 plus years, that hope and promise has been obliterated pretty quickly. Now, look, I'm not saying Jacksonville is going to go to Cincinnati and win or go to San Francisco and win or beat Mahomes on Monday Night Football one game at a time. But what I'm saying for this week against a Carolina team that on paper you are absolutely better than, the team needs to go out there. The team needs to take care of business so you, the hardworking Jaguar fans, can keep the momentum, can keep the positive energy in this city, and so you can get off to a good start in 2025. Because goodness knows, Jaguar fans, you have earned a good start in 2025 based on some of the nonsense that has gone on with that organization, again, for the better part of the last 15 plus years. Jaguar locker room one-on-ones. I was down at the Miller Electric Center earlier today. You will hear my conversation with Jaguar defensive lineman DeJuan Smoot. You will also hear my one-on-one conversation with Jaguar defensive back Jordan Lewis. Before we get there, defensive back Jordan there, Denmark, is it my understanding on a Wednesday evening here in Northeast Florida that we have something to give away to the hardworking folks listening to Hacker After Dark?
Yeah, we got a family 4-pack of Sporting Jacks pro women's soccer match Saturday, September 6th at Hodges Stadium at UNF's against Dow's Trinity FC. If you want those tickets, hit me up at 641-1010.
So a family 4-pack this Saturday. Where's the game at? Hodges Stadium?
Yep, your alumni.
All right, yeah, Hodges Stadium, a family 4-pack. If you want to go see the soccer, that's really a good product here in town. A new product, but an exciting product. Be caller 4 right now at 641-1010, and Dylan Denmark will hook you up with that family 4-pack for Saturday evening. Jaguar locker room one-on-ones next on a Wednesday evening. It's Hacker After Dark.
Get in the huddle with 1010XL's QB.
All right, guys, let's make a play for 1010XL.
David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker here. And, you know, before I came into the studio tonight, Little Hack has started T-ball. So we get out there before practice. Practice begins around 6 o'clock. We were out there at 5:30. He says, Daddy, will you run the bases with me? Now, a year and a half ago, that wasn't a possibility when I was well over 300 pounds. Now, thanks to the great folks of Awaken 180 weight loss, down over 100 pounds. Yeah, I ran the bases. I ran them like the wind blew, man. It was fantastic being out there with my son on a baseball diamond, running the bases before T-ball practice. That is the life I have gotten back thanks to the great folks of Awaken 180 weight loss. If you miss out on those family opportunities, if it's time for you to lose weight like it was for me, do yourself a favor. Go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. Awaken 180 weight loss.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big... Whoa!
See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
You've waited patiently, and the wait is almost over. NFL football is back.
That's awesome.
Kickoff week on 1010XL is built by KO Electric, Heating and Air, and Roland Weish Plumbing.
Let the games begin. 60 days from now, you'll be one of these two guys. The first guy, sluggish, foggy, and feeling like he just can't keep up like he used to. The second guy, driven, strong, and confident. Why? Male Excel's breakthrough microdosing protocol, a daily low-dose testosterone. You don't have to be the first guy anymore. Be the second guy. Take the same steps he took. Try MaleExcel.com. 100,000 men chose wisely. Your move.
This is Hayes Carlyon, here from a driver who made the smart move to buying a vehicle from Atlantic Infinity.
Hayes, this is my second Infinity, so I knew exactly what I wanted, and Atlantic Infinity made it so easy for me. The GM Dwayne had my new ride ready to go, and I was in and out of the dealership in about 30 minutes. The Atlantic Infinity promise just sealed the deal for me. It's $2,500 in added value, including roadside assistance. I am so happy with my new car.
Atlantic Infinity, Atlantic, near St. John's Bluff.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
We've got to be able to make it harder on them with changing the picture because they are younger and try to give them different looks potentially, and so not everything they're seeing is exactly what they are expecting to get at times, and also, doing a good job within our zones, getting hands-on reroutes, things like that. I mean, when they're bigger dudes, you worry about at the catch point at times, like because of the size in the frame. So we've got to do a great job playing through their hands when we are at the point of attack, playing through our hands, playing with great technique. But those guys would probably have to take that a little bit personal in the DB room.
The thoughts of Jaguar head coach Liam Cohen. That's courtesy of our friends at Jaguars.com. He was talking about defensively. What do they have to do to stop Carolina? Look, I think it's an interesting situation for the Panthers. We've talked about Ike Ekwonu, the left tackle. That's the one that everybody's saying, well, if he might not play. Well, all of a sudden today, Robert Hunt, their $100 million guard, left practice with, I believe, what is described as a foot injury. I was watching the Dave Canales presser up in Charlotte. Hunt left practice with a foot. They put him back in for a couple of plays, and then they yanked him out again and said, hey, let's just sit out the rest of practice. Something to keep an eye on. We think they're going to be down one offensive lineman already. Man, if they're down two of their starting offensive linemen, that would certainly be something for Trayvon Walker, Joshua Hines-Allen, Eric Armstead, Mason Smith, and the guys on the Jaguar D-line. There's no doubt Carolina's got physical wide receivers, though. They're young, but Xavier Legette and Tet McMillan, the rookie from Arizona, I mean, you're talking about big, physical, imposing guys. And Liam Cohen's, you heard it right there. Our DB's got to get physical, right? They got to go win the ball. Carolina's going to throw those 50-50 balls and think their big physical receiver is going to be able to outman or outjump the Jaguar DBs. That is something the Jaguars are absolutely preparing for. One of the guys at the center of that is defensive back Jordan Lewis, about ready to play his first game in a Jacksonville Jaguar uniform. Earlier today, down at the Miller Electric Center inside the Jaguar locker room, I had the opportunity to go one-on-one with Jaguar defensive back Jordan Lewis.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
All right, inside the Jaguar locker room, Jaguars getting ready for the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. We got Jaguar DB Jordan Lewis here with us on 1010XL. Jordan, how'd practice go today?
It went really well. The attention to detail was there and stuff we got to clean up, being our first Wednesday practice. But as far as, being on the screws and doing what we were taught to do, on the day today, first and second down stuff, it looked good. So I'm encouraged, especially on defense, to see, how we can attack these guys. And I feel like we've done that, in our preparation today.
For a veteran like yourself, opening day, how excited are you to get out there for the first time in 2025?
I'm always excited, man. It's like, when I'm a 6-year-old, just putting those pads on for the first time, it's the same thing. You lay your clothes out the day before, what you're gonna wear, swag you're gonna have on the field. So I'm extremely excited, especially being a new organization, to put on film that I should be here, and I want to be a staple in the Jaguars community. So I'm extremely excited to get started, and I can't wait to get to Sunday.
What kind of challenges does Carolina present? A couple of big wide receivers. Bryce Young came on towards the end of last year. What have you seen from them on film?
They can go get the ball. ball, man. They got some guys that's big and fast. They can go get it, and Bryce can make things happen with his feet, and he can remain a passer out there. When he's scrambling. And Hunter Renfrow, he's been a pro since I was I got in the league too. So he's been all pro caliber guy, and I feel like he's gonna present a challenge in the slot. So they got some really good pieces to go out there and challenge us, and it'd be a really good challenge for us to see where we are on Sunday.
Final question. Fan base is excited. Opening day. A lot of people are going to come out and see you guys for the first time. What's your message to the fan base that'll be out here on Sunday?
It's a new brand of football. We're going to be physical. We know that regardless of what we're going to do, how we're going to attack them, we're going to go out there and be physical with those guys, with anybody that we play. So that's going to be our brand of football, and that's what we're going to hang our hat on, just being a physical bunch to go out there and, beat people up.
There you go, the thoughts of Jaguar defensive back Jourdan Lewis. And again, you look at him, you look at Jarrian Jones, you look at obviously Tyson Campbell, perhaps Travis Hunter as well. We'll see about Braswell. I know Monteric Brown did not practice today. He's one of the 3 guys listed on the injury report, but they're going to have their work cut out for him. Now, the interesting thing about Carolina is they're big physical receivers, but again, they're so young. Tet McMillan's going to play his first game on Sunday in the National Football League. Xavier Legette is only in year number 2. Jalen Coker for them is out. They traded Adam Thielen. So he mentions Hunter Renfrow. Renfrow was cut last week. They had to bring him back because of the trade of Thielen and because of the injury to Coker. So it's not a star-studded Carolina Panther wide receiver group, but there's no doubt those first 2 guys are big, imposing dudes, and the Jaguar DBs are going to have to get physical, match their physicality with some of their own physicality, and we will see how the chips fall on Sunday. Same thing on the defensive line. Look, Carolina can run the football. Chuba Hubbard's a good player. We'll see about the offensive line. There are some issues, little issues with Carolina's offensive line. We'll see how those go the rest of the week. But Carolina wants to run the ball. There is no doubt about that. DeJuan Smoot and the Jaguar defense knows that. I also had the opportunity earlier today to catch up with the Jaguar defensive lineman DeJuan Smoot inside the Miller Electric Center, and here is my conversation from the Jaguars locker room.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
Inside the Jaguar locker room, Jaguars getting ready for the Carolina Panthers. We got Jaguar D lineman DeJuan Smoot with us here on 1010XL. DeJuan, how practice go out there today?
It went well. We got a lot of, Carolina looks, and I feel like we were zeroed in on Carolina finally instead of zeroed on each other. So it definitely went well for sure.
Fan base is very excited to have you back. How excited are you to be back in Jacksonville?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm more relieved, that I know where I'm at and I'm home, and I get to see my kids each and every day, and it's just all positive vibes, and I'm just so happy to be back.
What does that mean to a player that the city, the organization, the fan base is so pumped to have you back? That's got to mean something.
Oh, it definitely means a lot. I can't even put it into words. Like when I finally got the news, like they were like, "Oh, we want you to come back." I was just smiling. Me and my wife, we prayed about it, and we're just so happy that we're back here for sure.
It's vastly different. A lot of guys different in the locker room. New coaching staff. How is the newness coming together, getting ready for week one?
Yeah, it's a lot of new, but it's also a lot of old as well too. Some new faces. Got Og here as well too. It's great to just be around familiar faces, but also get to know some new faces as well too. But the new system and everything, I feel like we've picked it up so quickly. I'm surprised how quickly we've been able to pick it up as a defense. We're communicating, and I feel like week one we're going to finally be able to show everybody what we've been working on this whole summer.
As we wrap up, Carolina, you mentioned them. Bryce Young coming in, Chuba Hubbard, a couple of big wide receivers on the outside. What have you seen from them on film?
You got to stop the run. Like you said, it's a big running back there. You got to stop the run, and that's for every single team in the NFL. You got to stop the run so you can have fun and, rush the passer. So that's our main goal as a D-line. Stop the run, clog up as much gaps as possible. Don't give him any space, and stay active on Bryce because we know he likes to run around. He likes to do a lot of off-schedule plays. So we rush with extension. I feel like we'll be in a good place.
Final question. Fan base is excited. Sellout crowd on Sunday, Everbank Stadium. What's your thought on the fans as far as the message you have for them coming out on Sunday?
Man, hey, I'm just excited to see everybody out here. We haven't had a packed, sold-out crowd in a while, so, I know Duval's going to stand up for sure on Sunday, so let's do it.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
There you go, Dewan Smoot with us here on Hacker After Dark inside the Jaguar locker room. And yeah, a lot of excitement in the city. And that's what I go back to from the previous segment. Everybody's fired up, right? But Jaguar fans have suffered. You guys have suffered for so long. I don't want Carolina to come in here and a couple of turnovers happen and Carolina walks out with a victory. And then it's same old, Jags this, Jags that. And then you go to Cincinnati and you play Burrow, and all of a sudden you're 0-2 before you even take a deep breath. You know, I don't know if there's anything like a must-win in week 1. But if there is a must-win in week 1 of an NFL season, isn't this it? I mean, you're already on paper better than Carolina. You're a 3.5-point favorite. Carolina's got more injury issues than you. You play Cincinnati, Houston, San Francisco, and Kansas City in your next 4. This, by far and away, is the easiest matchup on paper. I mean, if you combine all that, probably is a must-win, even in week number 1. Now, will the season be over if you lose to Carolina? No, it won't. But there'll be a lot of cause for concern. Because if you don't beat Carolina, how on earth can you at least expect to go into Cincinnati and win? Or expect to beat Houston, or expect to beat San Francisco? This is a tone setter on Sunday. Everbank Stadium, Carolina, Jacksonville, the Jaguars. How many games are the Jaguars actually going to be a favorite in the first part of the year? Probably not very many. You need to take advantage of this. Plus, you're at home on opening day. You can't lose at home on opening day, right? It all lines up for a big Jaguar victory. And I got to be honest. Look, you guys know this about me. At least I hope you do if you've listened long enough. There are some people that are sunshine and rainbows. There are some people that, you know, wear teal goggles and drink teal Kool-Aid. I would like to think I'm not one of them. I've often been told I'm too negative. I've tried to work on that a little bit. You call it negativity. I call it reality. The team has sucked for basically the last 15 years. Having said all that, I think Jacksonville is going to win the game pretty easily on Sunday. I hate that I feel that way because maybe I'm setting myself up for a big letdown. But I think Jacksonville wins the game by 10, 14 points. 27-13, 30-17, something like that. I love the Jaguar matchup against Carolina. Love it. I loved it before Carolina had some of their injuries. I love it even more now. Denmark, am I drinking the Kool-Aid there? I mean, what do you think Sunday afternoon?
Close game. I think it comes down to a field goal. Jags by a field goal.
So you think it's a lot closer than I do?
Yeah, I mean the line opened at 2.5. It's now 3.5. And I think the line's right. I think it's going to be a 3-point game.
I just think you look at that Carolina defense. Again, they get Derek Brown back, which is going to matter. There's no question. They were the worst rush defense in the National Football League last year. The worst. You look at what Liam Cohen's Tampa Bay Buccaneers did to them twice last year. It's the same coordinator, same scheme in Carolina. They got some different players, but it's the same plays and system.
Although week 1 is a lot different. Like you can look at the last 3 or 4 years, and there are teams that the thing with week 1 is that bad teams don't know they're bad.
Yeah, right.
And,
I get that.
And you just have there's going to be 3 or 4 games this weekend where you know that a team is going to be picking in the top 5 or top 10 in the draft, and they're going to win a game just because they play well. And I'm not saying that's going to be Jacksonville, Carolina, but like that's just going to happen, and that's the nature of the NFL.
Yeah, see, I only think that'll happen if they play another bad team. Like, is Dallas going to go into Philly tomorrow and win? Is Tennessee going to go into Denver and win? I mean, I doubt it. Maybe. They say any given Sunday in the NFL. I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. I think Denver could play Tennessee about 10 times a mile high. They're probably going to win all 10, at least in my opinion. But I hear you. Jacksonville and Carolina are much more compatible than Denver and Tennessee are. I get that. I just look at Carolina's wide receiving core. I look at their offensive line that's a little beat up. I look at their defensive line that does not impress me at all, particularly on the edges. If Trevor has time, good night. If Trevor doesn't have time, well, that brings Carolina back into the realm of possibility of winning. I'm of the opinion the offensive line will give Trevor time, and he's going to have a great game with BTJ, De'Ami Brown, Travis Hunter, Brenton Strange, and the crew. What does Leon Searcy think? He will join me, Leon will, along with Coach Gerald Ingram, on the fifth quarter, 2 hours after every Jaguar football game. Our debut show is this Sunday, live from Hurricane Grill and Wings over in San Marco. We'll talk with the former Jaguar Pro Bowl offensive tackle, get his thoughts not only on Sunday against Carolina, but big picture as we open up the 2025 season. My buddy Leon Searcy joins me next here on Hacker After Dark.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by November 6th.
The 42nd Annual Wave Masters Pro-Am Surf Contest, presented by Favor Gray, is Jacksonville's largest surf event and returning to the Jacksonville Beach Pier on October 4th. 20 grand in cash will be given away for the Marker 32 Longboard Pro, the Takaloo Men's Pro, and the US Assure Women's Pro. Enter at Sunrise or Aqua Surf Shops today if you want to compete. The 42nd Annual Wave Masters Pro-Am, October 4th at the Jacksonville Beach Pier. Come watch the best surfers in Northeast Florida compete.
Lee Brice. What do you know about that tour? Saturday, September 13th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. With special guests Ashley Cook and Louis Brice. Award-winning country sensation Lee Brice. On sale now at AXS.com. Don't miss Lee Brice Live.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacressporting.com.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for the Jaguars and proud member of Jacksonville's newest orthopedic dream team. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we brought together 10 board-certified fellowship-trained surgeons, each one a specialist in their field, all working together to deliver smarter, faster care with better results. From sports injuries to joint replacements, we've got the right player for every position. Visit osjax.com and meet your team. That's osjax.com.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Panthers, Sunday, 1 o'clock, the regular season opener. Of course, you'll hear it right here on 1010XL. And 2 hours after the game ends, we will have the season debut of the fifth quarter live at Hurricane Grill and Wings in San Marco. The coach, Gerald Ingram, myself, and, of course, the Pro Bowler, Leon Searcy. And with that, let me welcome former Jaguar offensive tackle. You hear him every day on XL Primetime. My buddy Leon Searcy is with us tonight here on Hacker After Dark. Leon, how are you, pal?
I'm doing good, bro.
Leon, appreciate the time as always. First and foremost, man, congrats to your alma mater. What a win over Notre Dame last weekend.
Yeah, it was a great win. I mean, the program and Mario needed a win like that against a formidable opponent like Notre Dame. You're talking about the Notre Dame team that just, played in the championship game against Ohio State a few months ago. So I knew going in that it was going to be a tough task, but the Hurricanes, they fought through it. They fought to the very end, and they came out with a victory. So I was very proud of them Sunday night.
Yeah, it was a big win for Miami. Hopefully the Jacksonville Jaguars can give all of us a big win on Sunday. Leon, before we talk about the game and talk about the fifth quarter, just the thought of opening day, right? I mean, for months and months, mini camp, OTAs, training camp, the preseason, and now finally on Sunday at 1 o'clock, it means something against Carolina. What are the emotions of the guys this week heading into that game?
Well, listen, Hack, I mean, it's the start of a new season. I always got excited about week one, especially when it was at home, when it was amongst our fan base. Always got excited. Got a little nervous, maybe in the bedroom, in the hotel room before I went, not because I was worried about how I was going to perform. It was just because I knew I wanted to perform well. I put a lot of pressure on myself as a player. And just the energy in that locker room, especially being at home, knowing the fan base is going to be on your side. You want to perform well. You want to start off well. I mean, it's always important in the season, especially game one, to have momentum moving forward throughout the season. I mean, I know one game does not make a season, but it's always good to start off at home with a win when you got a long season ahead of you.
Former Jaguar Pro Bowl offensive tackle Leon Searcy with us here on Hacker After Dark. Leon, you were down at training camp many, many times. You saw 3 preseason games. You saw OTAs, everything that transpired this offseason. Looking back on it, your thoughts on what the Jaguars did, and do you believe that they are a better football team now than they were when the season ended in January?
Well, it's hard to make that assessment in the preseason and even in training camp, Hack, because the intensity level, although was good and the effort level was outstanding, you can't really tell how good a team is going to be until it's live. I mean, and it's never live until the quarterback gets hit. That's when you know it's live. When you go up against other teams and when you go when you go up against in practice, you try to evaluate as best you can. But, I mean, this is going to be real talk now. I mean, they're going to be going against another opponent that's going to be coming full speed. It's not going to be any let up. There's not going to be any whistle. So it's never really live until you hit the quarterback. So the preseason, you can assess it pretty well. You can't really assess it on how they're going to play this season. Only time you can really tell, Hack, is when they really buckle it up and it goes live.
Leon, let's talk about that quarterback here in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence entering year 5 with the brand new head coach and Liam Cohen, a new offensive staff as well. Your expectations for Trevor now at 25 years of age?
Well, listen, I put lofty expectations on Trevor, and I'm probably the only one in that boat. I've got Trevor going 39-10 with 4,200 yards passing. That's a lot of yards, Zach. I mean, but if not now, then when? I mean, he's never over the last couple of years, he's never acquired an elite status of any capacity for a guy who's supposed to be a generational quarterback. The last time we saw it was on the back end of 2022 when he had that 12-1 run and went into the playoffs and beat the Chargers and should have beat the Chiefs in that divisional round. So, I mean, that's been a back nine of Trevor Lawrence that we saw a couple of years ago. And I'm hoping with the new regime, with the new offense, with the working on the fundamentals and the feet and the hands and the eye coordination that Liam Cohen has emphasized over the last couple of months. I mean, I hope that transpires to us winning games and him having a successful season. So I'm going all in on him. I mean, if not now, win, Hat.
No, it's a good point. Look at what Liam Cohen did with Baker Mayfield last year. And look, I agree. There are a lot of expectations on Trevor. Leon Searcy, you get him every day on prime time. You'll hear him Sunday evening, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Panthers go final, with myself and the coach Gerald Ingram on the fifth quarter, live from Hurricane Grill and Wings in San Marco. Leon, you're one of the best offensive linemen that's ever played in the city of Jacksonville, so you're a perfect person to ask. I mean, this offense is only going to be as good as that offensive line allows it to be. Trevor can't be Trevor. The running game, the wide receivers, the tight ends, it all is relying on the offensive line up front. It's a starting unit of Walker Little, Ezra Cleveland, Robert Hainsey, Patrick McCarry, and Anton Harrison. Your thoughts on this offensive line entering week number 1?
They got to be physical, Hack. They got to be physical at the point of attack. I mean, they've got to assess in their minds as a group, as a unit, that they're playmakers. And they're essentially, when we need 31, you got to get 31. When we need 3rd and 12, you got to give Trevor the adequate time to get the ball and release and get the first down. I mean, they've got to play with a level of consistency with the run and the pass protection that's going to help this offense flourish. And if they do, we're going to have success. I mean, I always said the best friend that Trevor Lawrence could ever have. You can talk about receivers. You got to give him a running game. If you give Trevor Lawrence a running game with the offense that we run, with the schematics that we have on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to win a lot of games, Zach, but it starts up front. It absolutely starts up front. We've got to set the tempo from play one. Absolutely play one. We've got to be physical up front. We've got to be lethal. We've got to play with a lot of intensity, a lot of consistency. We've got to be tough, strong, and physical on all areas of the offensive line if we're going to have any kind of success this year.
And look, Leon, there's no easing into the regular season. I don't want to make it sound like that, but the reality of the situation is the Carolina Panthers had the worst rush defense in the NFL last year. They gave up the most points in the NFL last year. Now, Derek Brown is healthy. That was not the case last year, so that will obviously matter. But, I mean, look, ask any diehard NFL fan, name me the 2 starting defensive ends for the Carolina Panthers. Odds are they probably can't do it. If there is any such thing as an offensive line easing into a regular season, on paper, the Carolina Panthers may be the best opponent you could have asked for.
Yeah, but if we go about our business and we think like that, that's how you get beat. I mean, I as a Jaguar, listen, we played in a very tough division with the Steelers, with the Ravens, and the Titans. But Hack, I tell you, every now and then those Bengals gave us hell, especially up front. So you can't take, at this level of professionalism, you can't take any team lightly because those are paid professionals across from you. And you got to go 60 to 70 plays against them. And it's no easy task. So, I mean, you can't take that type of approach as a professional that, hey, this team isn't really that good up front. We should have an easy day on them because, I mean, I can assess back in my day where the Bengals weren't that good, but every time we played against them defensively, they were tough and physical and got after it. So you can't have that kind of mindset. You got to have the mindset, Hack, that this team, no matter who they are in the way. They are in the way. And I don't care if they had a down season. I don't care what their record is. Where we need to go, this team is in the way. And if you take that mindset going into the game this upcoming Sunday and you play like it's the best team in the NFL, and you impose your will on them, then we're going to have a lot more success this season than failure.
Leon, as we begin to wrap up, there's no question Bryce Young discovered something in his game towards the end of last year. He was pretty good in November and December last year. They got some momentum coming into this season. They drafted Ted McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona. I know they're excited about him. Chuba Hubbard in the backfield. The Jaguar defense will have their work cut out for them against this young Carolina Panther offense.
Yeah, heck, believe it or not, the bench when you're a first round pick, and trust me, it's happened to me. When you get pulled and you get benched, you suddenly it's something. It's an occurrence that's never happened to you before. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. And then when you get another opportunity at it, you got to make the most of it. And I think that's what happened to Bryce Young. I mean, when he got benched last year, and then he had to sit and watch for a little bit, and then he came back. He understood that playing in the NFL is not. It's a privilege. It's not something that you're anointed with. It's something that you should be privileged to do and play. And he got that second opportunity, and in the back end of the season, he played well. But yeah, this team is going to go up against some guys offensively or big body wide receivers. You're talking about Leggett, and you're talking about McMillan. You're talking about a McMillan kid that was a first-round pick out of Arizona who's 6'5", 200-something pounds, and then Leggett 6'3". So those are imposing guys that we've got to get after. I mean, 50-50 balls, more than likely they're going to get it unless we've got tight coverage on them. So you've got to make sure, whether you're playing zone or whether you're playing man, you've got to be physical with these guys, and you've got to be able to leap and jump with them. And the offensive line is okay. I mean, it's okay. They made some shape shifting around the offensive line to make them a little bit better. But I expect this front four to get after them pretty good. I'm expecting big games from Hines Allen, for Trayvon Walker, for Eric Armstead, all those guys. They've got to put elite pressure on this guy to make sure he's uncomfortable in the backfield.
All right, Leon, you, myself, the coach Gerald Ingram will be at Hurricane Grill and Wings in San Marco for the fifth quarter, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Panthers go final here on 1010XL. My question to you, like I'll ask you every week, are we talking about a win or a loss? What happens on Sunday, in your opinion?
I've got the Jaguars winning 27-13.
Nice. And that's a pretty commanding victory then. You think it's going to be a good day for the Jaguars?
I think it will be a great day for the Jaguars, absolutely.
Well, I hope that happens because that will make the fifth quarter extremely fun. Looking forward to doing it again with you, man. This is almost, 8 or 9 years for me and you doing the fifth quarter. Really excited about this season.
I am too, bro. Absolutely.
And we'll welcome the coach.
Hopefully it's a fun season, bro.
Yeah, we've had our down seasons. It might be time for a good season for me and you on the post-game show. And, of course, we'll welcome in the coach Gerald Ingram this year with us as well. Leon, appreciate it. I'll see you out there at Hurricanes in San Marco for the fifth quarter on Sunday.
All right, bro.
Thank you to Leon Searcy. We'll get him every week here on Hacker After Dark. 27-13. Is what he has the Jaguars. I like that. I'm kind of in the same boat. I think Jacksonville wins this game. I won't say easily. Maybe it's 20-13. They score a touchdown, midway through the fourth quarter to make it look a little worse than it actually was. But I think Jacksonville, if you had to handpick an opponent for this Jaguar team to play, you would obviously pick the home game. And maybe you pick the Saints over the Panthers. Maybe you pick the Titans over the Panthers. I'm not sure what other team you would have picked other than Carolina. They would have certainly been in my top 5 of teams that I wanted to play on opening day. Everybody in the NFL is good, but you got to play somebody. And I think drawing Carolina week 1 at Everbank Stadium is about as good as Jacksonville could have asked for. And we'll see if they are as good as I believe they are. Again, I think 8-9, 9-8. We'll give our predictions tomorrow night for every division. But I'm kind of leaning, to the 9-8 side of things for the Jacksonville Jaguars. More Jaguar football talk coming up in just a bit. I mentioned Leon Searcy will be on the fifth quarter. So will the coach, Gerald Ingram. He joins us this year for the fifth quarter. We'll have Coach Ingram in the 9 o'clock hour tonight getting his thoughts on the Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers. Coming up next, college football. First time since 2006 that Florida, Florida State, and Miami in the same week are all inside the AP top 15. Let that sink in for a moment. Let's talk about the big wins for Florida State and Miami. Let's preview Florida and South Florida. Max Chadwick of PFF, he is the college football host there at PFF on their daily podcast. And Max joins us next, right here on Hacker After Dark.
Follow the Florida Gators on 1010XL.
Gators!
The Gators hook horns with the South Florida Bulls. Kickoff at 4 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece. Premium flooring. Take our advice. Home business, affordable price. Driveways, pool decks, garage doors, beautiful patios, and more to explore. Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We went to probably 4 or 5 jewelry stores.
Jacksonville's Mitch Vandal went to the town center looking for an engagement ring, but found the big box corporate jewelry experience wasn't for him.
Nobody was really helping us. One of the stores, some people walked in behind us and they were offered beer and champagne, and I'm wearing shorts and a cutoff, so I don't really look the part. So I was like, well, I guess we'll go somewhere else. I don't know if they think we can afford to shop here or what.
So he went across and discovered locally owned Beards Diamonds.
When I walked in, everybody just said, hey, welcome in, welcome to Beards.
Mitch loved the service and attention he got at Beards and ended up with a bigger, better quality diamond.
It was about twice the size of what I thought I could afford, and it was also about twice the size of what my wife thought she wanted.
Today, Mitch tells all his friends, shop local, shop Beards.
You're going to get the best deal on the best diamond.
Unbeatable value, unmatched selection, uncompromising personal service.
Anybody that I know, I want them to shop at Beards.
Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminix knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a fight for the last slice of pizza? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
It's the start of our favorite season in Jacksonville, football season. Let's get hyped and let's get the home in tip-top shape and let's get that house zero-resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, they'll take care of you. Call the folks at Zero Res right now, 287-5727. Ask for the 1010XL special. Get your 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139 plus a 4th room free. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. Labor Day weekend was a great weekend of college football. Huge wins for Florida State and Miami. Florida kind of went through the motions against a vastly inferior opponent. But all three teams now find themselves in the Associated Press top 15 for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Let's talk about all of it with Max Chadwick of PFF. He is the host of the PFF College Football Show, and he's always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL. Max, how you doing, man?
Good. How you guys doing?
Hey, Max, we're good. Thank you for the time. Let's quickly begin with Florida. I don't know how much you could really gather as far as information playing Long Island last week. They did what they were supposed to do. They won 55-0. I think we'll get more information on them this week when they play a South Florida team that just absolutely decimated Boise State last week. But what is your thought on the Gators heading into the USF game on Saturday?
Yeah, I think they're really good. I think they have one of the best offenses in college football with a great defensive line, too. And, yeah, you're right. They played an FCS opponent in Long Island, so it's hard to glean too much off of that game. But it was good to see them, be clicking on all cylinders in a 55-0 win in that game, too. So I like Florida a lot this year. I actually have Florida as a top 10 team in the country right now. And if the USF game is going to be really interesting this week, too, considering how good USF looked last week. But I think Florida could be a playoff contender this year for sure.
The USF game got some Gator fans' attention here. Look, I don't know how good Boise State is, life after Ashton Genty, but 34-7 is 34-7. I mean, how much of a threat do you think USF might be to the Gators on Saturday?
I think they can keep it close early on. I still think it's a game that Florida should win by 2 or 3 scores, honestly. So I don't think Florida's in danger of being upset, but you got to be careful with them, right? You can't just go into that game treating it like you treated the Long Island game, right? We're like, okay, well, we're going to run over this team no matter what happens. USF's a dangerous team with Byron Brown, a really dangerous quarterback, a really good coach that they have, too, at USF, and Alex Golesh. So, yeah, I think this is a game you can't look over for sure, but it's still a game that I think Florida should win by 2 or 3 scores.
And, of course, the gauntlet, as we all talk about, begins next week for Florida at LSU, at Miami, a bye week, and then home against Texas and at Texas A&M. Max Chadwick, the host of the PFF College Football Show, is with us here on 1010XL in Jacksonville. Florida State, Alabama. What a win for Florida State. What an embarrassing loss for Alabama. Maybe equal measures of both. Let's begin with the Seminoles, Max. I was stunned, man, that Florida State did that to the Crimson Tide. What was your reaction?
Yeah, I was stunned too. Honestly, I thought it was a game that Alabama would win pretty convincingly, and they obviously did it. They lost pretty convincingly. So Florida State just looks like a whole different team than last year. Where last year they were a soft football team, I think is the way you could put it. They just were not very good in the trenches at all, and they dominated the trenches against Alabama too. So I mean, all the additions they made in the portal, the 2 coordinator hires they made, too, and Gus Malzahn and Tony White seemed to have really worked for Mike Norvell too. And yeah, Florida State was a team that I thought would go, 6-6, 7-5. All of a sudden now they look like a top 15 team in the country right now.
I'll give credit to Tommy Castellanos. There was a lot of trepidation around here with some of the comments he made leading up to the Alabama game. But Max, he completely backed up everything that he said. There were times in that game where Alabama could not stop him.
No, not at all. And it was cool seeing him back up those comments because I was with you. I was fully prepared for him to get flamed after all those comments, but he backed it up in that game too. He's a dangerous player on the ground with his legs. He's still developing as a passer. I don't think he's all the way there yet, but I mean, when you watch him out there running around, it's hard not to think of like a Kyler Murray type of runner out there for Boston College. And obviously Kyler Murray won a Heisman, but also he's a way better passer than Castellanos. But as a runner, I think you see a lot of the same comparisons with them.
I got some Alabama friends out in Birmingham. They are not happy. How much trouble is Kalen DeBoer in already?
He's in trouble, but I wouldn't say he can't turn it around. Obviously, if they say, go 10-1 the rest of the season, they can make the play. Or they will make the playoff, I should say. But I think if you but that schedule is brutal, and if you're losing to a team like Florida State, and you have some other teams left in your schedule that are really, really difficult, I mean, it's going to be hard for him to go 10-1 this year. And if he misses the playoff 2 years in a row at Alabama, I don't know how acceptable that is for that program in a 12-team playoff era now, too. So his back is against the wall for sure, but he definitely can turn this thing around, though.
Max, Miami got a big victory on Sunday night. I'll be honest, though, man, I could not believe the way Mario Cristobal handled the clock there in the last 90 seconds. Just basically, once they got to the 30, they ran it 3 times to make Notre Dame call their timeouts, and it worked. I mean, it worked. You can't criticize it as it worked, but holy cow, if they would have missed that 47-yarder, the different conversation we'd be having. But all that being said, Miami did make the field goal. They did win the game. And what was your thought on their victory over the Irish?
Yeah, it was a big-time win for Cristobal in Miami, a team that is competing for a playoff spot right now. And I think the biggest reason why they won that game was they absolutely dominated Notre Dame in the trenches. Offensive line and defensive line both were absolutely dominant in that game, too. So, I thought Miami won that game in the trenches. And Carson Beck looked pretty good out there, too. But make no mistake, they won that game because of how good their defensive line and their offensive line played.
A couple more from Max Chadwick. He is the host of the PFF College Football Show. All right, big picture. We overreact to things in week number 1, so let me throw a couple of things at you. How worried should Texas be about Arch Manning?
Not very worried. I don't think people were. I think people are way too harsh on him in that game. Obviously the first 3 quarters weren't very pretty, but he actually, if you look back and watch the tape, he was elite in the fourth quarter. I mean, he made 4 outstanding throws in the final 8 minutes of that ball game. And he has a very young offense around him, 4 new starters on the offensive line. They lost their top 3 pass catchers from last year's team, too. And obviously he's, only having his 3rd career start as the defending national champion in Columbus, Ohio, against guys like Caleb Downs and a lot of other outstanding players on Ohio State defense, too. So it will get a lot easier for him in the coming weeks. And I think you'll see why Arch Manning was so hyped up coming into the year. Maybe he's not going to be as good as some people thought he would be as the Heisman favorite going into the year, but I am not selling any stock on Arch Manning just yet.
OSU went into Clemson, and the Clemson offense could do basically nothing in the second half. Clemson was thought to be the best team in the ACC coming into the year. Are we already adjusting that thought after 1 week?
No, I think they're still the best team. I think it's definitely tighter now with Miami looking the way they did, and even Florida State looking the way they did, and other teams like Duke and Georgia Tech and Louisville and SMU are pretty good in the conference too. But I still think Clemson's the favorite in the ACC right now. Now, I do think Miami deserves to be ranked over them currently, but I think Clemson's still the best team. I thought they played well enough against LSU. Obviously, there's some issues with them in that game, but yeah, I think Clemson's still a really good team, and I think, if they just get the things fixed along that offensive line specifically, they should be pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I think one thing you got to keep in mind too is that they lost their top receiver, Antonio Williams, early on in that game, and you could tell his absence was sorely missed out there too. So I think Clemson, I picked them to win it all preseason. Maybe I might not feel great about that right now, but I think they're still the pretty clear favorite in the ACC right now.
You mentioned Georgia Tech, and that's a good point because outside of Georgia Tech, Florida State, and Miami, it was not a great week for the ACC with Va-Tech and obviously Syracuse losing to Tennessee and North Carolina just getting flat out embarrassed. I mean, good heavens. What about Belichick's debut? That was very ugly on Monday night.
Yeah, it was. I do think TCU is a pretty good team this year, so that's worth keeping in mind too. And obviously, Bill Belichick has a brand new roster. Like, we had no idea what to make of North Carolina's roster going into the year just because of how many new pieces they had on it. I wasn't very impressed by the play calling from Freddie Kitchens, the offensive coordinator. I think that's definitely a problem that you got to address going into the future. It was very archaic to me watching that game, but yeah, it wasn't pretty for Bill Belichick, and I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of him coming to college football. I thought, it was going to be interesting to see how he translated to the college game at 73 or whatever he is years old right now. So yeah, I think North Carolina is it feels like where they were with Mac Brown, where it's like, yeah, he is a legendary coach. There's no denying that, but just how into it is he right now at his age?
Final moments, Max Chadwick, the host of the PFF College Football Show. Week 3 of college football on paper looks to be a lot more compelling. There are a couple of games this weekend. One, I guess Michigan, Oklahoma is the headliner. It'll be interesting to see as one of the best in the Big Ten get together with one of the best of the SEC.
Yeah, that's the biggest game of the week. I think Michigan against Oklahoma is interesting because they're both very similar teams, and they had disappointing years last year. But they had great defenses last year. They should have really good defenses again this year. The reason why they weren't very good last year, or had disappointing years, I should say, is that the offenses just completely fell apart for both of them. And I think now they have hope for the future of that offense because Bryce Underwood is at Michigan, the number one quarterback out of high school, the number one player out of high school. He looked really good in his debut last week. And then John Matier at Oklahoma is currently one of the Heisman Trophy favorites at quarterback, the Washington State transfer, too. So I think that's going to be a really interesting game, a fascinating game. And honestly, I think it's a coin flip right now between who's going to win that game.
Max, final question. The first SEC game this weekend, Ole Miss and Kentucky. It's the only game of the weekend putting SEC versus SEC. Kentucky went into Oxford last year and upset Lane Kiffin and the Rebels. Does Ole Miss get revenge this weekend?
I think they will. I wasn't very impressed by Zach Calzada and the Kentucky offense last week against Toledo. And Ole Miss had their own issues against Georgia State too. But I think Ole Miss, even though they lost a lot of talent from last year's team, this is still a much more talented team than Kentucky. But you can't play around with it, that's for sure. I thought Lane Kiffin kind of held back in last year's loss to Kentucky, and the offense is very vanilla. I think he's got to go all out in this one too. So I like Ole Miss to win this game, probably by 10 or so points. But I do think the Rebels will beat Kentucky this year.
Max, tell the good folks here in Jacksonville about the PFF College Football Show, what and when and where they can find it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So we go live every Sunday and every Tuesday. Sunday morning, breaking down all of the biggest games in college football, going over all the grades from PFF and all the biggest games. And then on Tuesday at 1 p.m., we do our preview of the week. So our preview for week 2 actually just dropped yesterday. So you can find the PFF College Football Show on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast too.
Max Chadwick does a terrific job covering the world of college football. He's the host of the PFF College Football Show. Max, I know you're busy. Thank you for the time, and we'll talk again soon, pal.
Thanks, Brian.
What does Johnny O know best? O knows Jacksonville football.
Okay, say, oh my.
Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft on 1010XL.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Millard Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Millard Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Millard Electric Company. Apply today at millardcareers.com. Millard Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. Hacker here, and earlier tonight, Little Hack had T-ball practice. He's in his second week of it. We got to practice about 30 minutes early, and he wanted to run around the bases. He said, Daddy, let's run around the bases. Now, a year and a half ago, when I was over 300 pounds, there's no way I could have done that. But with Awaken 180's help, over 100 pounds down in my weight loss journey, yeah, I ran around the bases a couple of times, as a matter of fact. That's what Awaken 180 does, man. They help you drop the weight, and they give you your life back. They give you moments like that back. A year and a half ago, I never would have been able to do that tonight. I can do it now because of Awaken 180 weight loss, the best weight loss program I've ever been on. If it's time for you to drop the weight like it was for me, if you're tired of missing out on opportunities like that, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now with the big BOGO event. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Hey, it's Vegas time. This is former Jags linebacker Tom McManus from Helmets and Heels, and we want you to come and join us once again in Las Vegas for the Raiders game weekend. If you've not been to the Circus Stadium Swim, you're missing out on 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive 143-foot screen with all the current sports betting action. Plus, all you Jaguar fans are invited to huddle up with Helmets and Heels at the Overhang Bar with our pregame tailgates on Friday with drink specials and special giveaways.
Lauren Brooks here. Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, and myself will be broadcasting Helmets and Heels live on air from a Stadium Swim Cabana on Friday, October 31st. Then hosting the wildly popular Jacksonville Huddle Up Friday evening at the Overhang Bar inside Circa. If you were there last year, you know you won't want to miss it. If you've already booked your flight to Vegas for the big game and are still searching for accommodations, stay where we're staying at Circa Resort and Casino from October 30th to November 3rd.
Jacksonville is my hometown and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. From estate cleanouts to furniture and appliance removal, we handle it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Yes, it is. Glad you're with us. 9 o'clock hour, Hacker After Dark, 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Boy, we got a busy couple of days coming up. Friday Night Lights. Well, first and foremost, we got Hacker After Dark till 10 o'clock tonight. Back here tomorrow night doing our NFL predictions as the NFL season kicks off. Denmark, you and I then have Gator Bites on Friday morning. We got Friday Night Lights with the biggest night of high school football this year. Terrific games like Bowles, St. Augustine, Fleming Island, Oakleaf, Tallahassee, Lincoln, and Nice. Of course, you got the Gators and a college football slate on Saturday. And then the Jaguars kick it off on Sunday, the regular season opener against Carolina. You'll hear the game right here on 1010XL. Pre-game coverage begins at 8 a.m. here on 1010XL. And after the game goes final, Gerald Ingram, Leon Searcy, and myself will have the 2025 debut of the fifth quarter live from Hurricane Grill and Wings there in San Marco. And hopefully we're celebrating a Jaguar victory on Sunday evening. Gerald Ingram, we call him the coach. That's because he is the coach. He joins us this year for the fifth quarter. 28 years of coaching experience, 18 of which were in the National Football League. Running backs coach for both the Jaguars and the Giants. Coach Ingram has 2 Super Bowl rings on his fingers from his time working with Tom Coughlin and the New York Football Giants. Really looking forward to having him on the fifth quarter this year to give his analysis. He's coached some great running backs like Fred Taylor, Tiki Barber, James Stewart, Natron Means, Brandon Jacobs, a lot of really, really good tailbacks under Gerald Ingram's tutelage. So we'll talk to the coach, Gerald Ingram. We'll preview Jaguars and Panthers, and we'll also look around the training camp cuts, everything that's transpired over the last couple of weeks here in Jacksonville, and that's coming up next on a Wednesday evening here in Northeast Florida. We're glad you're with us. Hacker After Dark till 10 o'clock right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
Get the weekend feeling all day Friday. Best feeling in the world, isn't it? That's why we give you Pre-Game Friday. You're going to love this. Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day. Built by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big... Whoa!
See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair. Whoa. Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The Friday Night Lights are shining even brighter as 1010XL has partnered with Channel 4 to bring you Friday Night Lights, a live streaming show at 7 o'clock every Friday, presented by Farrah and Farrah on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Plan ahead this year and order your home holiday decorating from Kuhn Flowers. They'll take care of all of your Christmas tree setup, lighting, and decorating hassles too. This is High Flying Jacko. Call on Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all this fall.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, so here's a reminder to get screened. Ackerman Urology has 4 convenient locations to help you put your prostate health first. Guys, don't put this one off. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Celebrate every score for Duval's favorite home team this season at One Night Taco Stand. Enjoy $3.99 margaritas, and when the home team scores, free tequila shots. Dine in only during the game. Don't miss Taco Tuesday, daily lunch specials, and Top Shelf Friday. Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows. One Night Taco Stand, where tacos, tequila, and touchdowns come together.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Panthers to kick off the 2025 NFL regular season, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Of course, you will hear the game right here on 1010XL, and you will also hear the season debut of the 5th quarter, Sunday evening, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Panthers go final. Myself, the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy, and the coach, Gerald Ingram, this year with us on the 5th quarter. Coach has 28 years of experience on the coaching sideline, including 18 of those years in the National Football League. Gerald Ingram joins us here tonight on 1010XL. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Looking forward to a heck of a season this year.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Looking forward to spending Sunday evenings with you and Leon on the 5th quarter. Coach, there is something special about opening day, right? Hope springs eternal for all 32 teams. And with these openers this weekend, a lot of optimism in every NFL city.
No, it's a great honor to be a part of the NFL. You're at the highest level of this ball that you can be, and and to start the season off, the things that I remember being here in Jacksonville, in that opener is a phenomenal flyby. When the military flies over and the excitement here in Jacksonville is electric, it's good. And I think it's a pretty good matchup in this first week. There's a lot of uncertainty in this matchup, so it can be interesting.
The coach, Gerald Ingram, with us here on Hacker After Dark. All right, let's talk about the Jaguars. Didn't see a lot of the starters in the preseason, Coach, but we did see Trevor Lawrence throw 17 passes. He completed 14 of those passes between the Steeler game and the Saints game. Didn't see him against the Dolphins, certainly. What was your takeaway from Trevor's preseason, and what are your expectations for him as the regular season approaches?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the carryover from what we saw. I think he's learned a lot. I think he's got a little more composure on how he handles himself. The coach, Liam has talked about, making the right decisions. And being a great quarterback, it's about making the decisions. We've watched Tom Brady do it for years and manage the team, throw in the right situations, take care of the team as best you can, carrying the ball, making sure we don't turn the ball over, just doing those kind of things that everybody wants to see him grow. And we know he's a competitor. We know he wants to win, but put the team in the right situation and see if we can elevate everybody at a higher level.
You know, the running game, your bread and butter. You were 18 years as a running back coach in the National Football League. Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, and then the two rookies, Tootin and LaQuint Allen Jr. I doubt all four are going to dress on game day, Coach, but it's a good problem to have because I think even with the two rookies, I think the Jaguars have four running backs they feel pretty good about if their duty is called in the regular season.
Yeah, very pleased with what they have to offer in the right situation. I think the two-headed monster is going to have to exist in this first game because you have to get a good feel on how this quarterback handles this 3-4 defense that has to emerge out of Carolina. And it's going to be a heck of a test. It's going to be a mental test. It's going to be a physical test. And how you utilize this run game will be real key. Can you keep the defense off the field, from that standpoint? But at the same time, there's a lot of thinking because, you got Dom Capers there. They chose to keep the defensive coordinator because he believes in the style of defense that they're going to play. And I think Dom's going to have more of an input this year as their senior executive on defense. So I think they're going to try and confuse this quarterback as much as they can, let alone how many different fronts that they go in, how many blitzes that they bring, and see how he executes that. So it's going to be interesting because the run game is going to take the pressure off of Trevor, and that'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
Coach, almost 3 decades for you as a coach, 18 years of which in the NFL with both the Giants and, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars. So you've certainly seen a lot on the coaching sideline. Sunday, Travis Hunter might do something that, quite frankly, none of us have seen in a long time. And that's play significant snaps on both offense and defense as a wide receiver and as a defensive back. I know you've been out there at training camp a bunch. Just your overall thoughts as a man that's been around this game for so long about what Travis Hunter can bring to the table and potentially accomplish beginning on Sunday.
I think it'll be a wonderful thing to watch, to see it develop and happen. And the thing you love about this kid, he's very intelligent. He's very smart. He has to adapt to the highest level of play that he has to go against every week and every play, offense and defense. I think he's got great stamina to do it. I love his personality to handle it. But how they choose to do it and grow would be the key. Now, they're going to play cat coverage with this guy. And basically this would be a great game to do it because, they have their first round pick as well as a big receiver, and try to lock him down, or they're going to, put him in certain key situations. But it wouldn't be a bad thing to sit there and have him, line up to T-Mac, who's a 6'5" defender as well, and see if he can play him and play match coverage and play him wherever he lines up. So it'll be interesting.
You will hear Gerald Ingram alongside Leon Searcy and myself on the 5th quarter Sunday, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Panthers go final. And the coach is with us here tonight on Hacker After Dark. Coach, let's talk about Liam Cohen. For that matter, Anthony Campanile, Grant Yudinsky as well. It will be their first regular season game as a head coach and as coordinators, respectfully. Just your thoughts on what will be going through their minds on Sunday, living out a dream that many have and few accomplish, to be a head coach or an offensive or defensive coordinator for the first time in the National Football League.
Well, it's definitely the most important thing they can do right now is have the organization right. Getting the players in the right situation to give them the best situation to win, to look organized, to look like the things that you say are being listened to and responded to. There's a lot of factors, and I think this is a great moment for them, as well as the GM. Knowing that they have the right pieces of the puzzle in place, for this full season. It's a building block from one game, and for both teams it is. That's why I think it's going to be a great matchup because and not a lot of people really know, because for Carolina, they got to wipe out their defensive year last year was horrible. It was terrible. It's as low as it gets. But the way they've structured it, they have a shot like any. They could be the sleeper, to be honest. Their offense, Bryce is playing a lot better at the end of the season. Dismal first part of the season, great at the end of the season. So he kind of has a swagger back. And at the same time, you have our quarterback in the same situation, having to prove his worth, that he, can extend what we kind of are seeing right now in the preseason to, being a dominant quarterback and win our division, and be a top 5-6 type quarterback is what we'd like to be able to see. And I think it's going to be a good test. It'll be a good start, and we're all excited about it.
You coached running backs for 18 years in the National Football League, so you're the perfect person to ask, and we'll probably ask you this most weeks here when we have you on. Chuba Hubbard is the opponent this week, the Carolina Panthers tailback. Maybe doesn't get the acclaim because of the market he plays in and the struggles of Carolina, but when he's on, Coach, Chuba Hubbard can be a very dangerous weapon for the Panthers.
I think they have as good a two-headed monster right now as anybody. Chuba Hubbard can, he's one of those guys we say he's got somewhere to get to quickly. Because if crease opens up, this kid gets head of steam going, and he's out to break tackles. And it's one of these situations where catch me if you can. He's not the wiggle guy, but he's got enough one cut. He doesn't waste his motion anyway, but I love the way he hits the hole. If I was Carolina, I'd go tackles over and let him be the downhill zone runner and get it and go, because the other kid behind him, Rico, is just the same way, but he doesn't have the go-to-distance speed that he has. Okay, Chuba has the go-to-distance speed. But both of them have good enough speed to keep the chains moving, have the intensity, and be a threat to the defense at any moment. So our defensive line is going to be tested with the two tackles inside. They increased their guards a year ago. They took the sacks away better than it was from the year before. They were like 62 sacks. So they've gotten better in the protecting the quarterback. But their run game is pretty solid. And either one of their two backs can go at any minute. So they're not bad.
Final moments with Coach Gerald Ingram. Coach, final thought, and Campo learned this with me pretty quick, so you'll learn this with me as well. That's why I think the dynamic of our show is interesting. You got the Pro Bowler in Leon Searcy. You got the coach, Dave Campo, last year. It'll be you this year on the fifth quarter. And you got the media guy in me. And the media guy in me looks at this game, and I say, all right, I agree that there's probably nothing called a must-win in week one, but when you look after this game, at Cincinnati, Houston at home, at San Francisco, Kansas City on Monday night, Coach, on paper, there is no doubt this Carolina game is the easiest of the first five. Does that make it a must-win in your mind come Sunday?
Oh, it definitely does. It's definitely a must-win. It's a must-win, to be honest, for both teams as a head coach, because as a coach, you're thinking no matter what last year's record was and no matter what people think this year's record's going to be, only game that is important is this Sunday. No matter who you play, if you win that game, that's the difference maker going into the next week. And can we build off of that? So it is a must-win. Because you'd like to think that in the back of your mind, not that you're telling your players that this team is any less than you are, okay? Because this team almost beat Kansas City last year, okay? So, yes, it is a must-win. It's a must-win for everybody to be on the same page going into the next week. Yes, it is a must-win.
You will hear the coach, Gerald Ingram, alongside the Pro Bowler, Leon Searcy, and myself, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Panthers go final. We will be at Hurricane Grill and Wings out there in the San Marco area. We invite you to stop by, and hopefully we will be celebrating a Jaguar victory on Sunday evening. Coach, enjoyed it as always. Thank you, and I will see you Sunday for the debut of the fifth quarter here in 2025.
Go Jags. Let's live it up.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Every joint in the body was designed for movement. Inactivity can cause stiffness, weakness, weight gain, and decrease in overall balance. So you should strive for at least 30 minutes a day of exercises that promote flexibility like yoga, strengthening with weights, and cardiovascular fitness like walking, swimming, or biking. The more you move, the better you will feel, and your overall health will benefit. Let's get healthy, Jacks. Go Jags.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now, 904-762-1000 for a free estimate on generator services. TysonInc.com.
Lee Brice. What you know about that tour? Saturday, September 13th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. With special guests Ashley Cook and Louis Brice. Award-winning country sensation Lee Brice. On sale now at AXS.com. Don't miss Lee Brice Live.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Chip Davis, director of the Flounder Pounder Fishing Tournament. We are fast approaching our 16th annual tournament benefiting the Jacksonville School for Autism. With the help of our amazing community, we raised over $1.4 million the last 15 years. This year's tournament will be held at Palm Valley Outdoors on the Intercoastal Waterway. Captain's meeting is Thursday night, October 9th, and the tournament is Saturday, October 11th. I'm inviting you and your family to come out and enjoy our tournament festivities, raise some money, and support autism awareness. Special thanks to U.S. Army Recruitment Jacks for their support. Flounder Pounder for Autism 2025. See you there.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Back here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us. The Jaguars and the Panthers, Sunday at 1 o'clock. Of course, you'll hear the game right here on 1010XL Radio as the Jacksonville Jaguar 2025 regular season kicks off. Let's preview the game. Let's also look at what should be, by far and away, on paper, the best high school schedule we've had so far this year, this Friday night. Let's do all of that with Justin Barney of Channel 4, always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL. Justin, how we doing, man?
Not too bad, Hack, man. Third week of the high school football season and kickoff in the NFL. So exciting times and a busy time.
Yeah, it'll be a busy week for everybody, no question about it. Let's obviously begin with the Jaguars. Liam Cohen's head coaching debut, James Gladstone's first game as the GM, countless new Jaguars that were not here at the end of last season. And after practice, after practice, after practice, we're finally going to see this thing in the regular season. Justin, what are your expectations for Sunday against Carolina?
I think tempered expectations. If you've covered the Jaguars for any bit of time, you've seen seasons where the expectations have been off the charts and they've come out and laid an egg. So I think cautious optimism in a sense, that a lot of these changes, offseason changes in infrastructure and leadership and personnel will pay off. And, Jacksonville kind of finished the season on a downslope last year, and Carolina, for all the Panthers' flaws and the knocks on Bryce Young, they kind of finished it on a little bit of an upswing with feeling like they truly got their franchise quarterback as opposed to how last year started. So I think teams with two different arrows on how last season ended.
Year 5 kicks off for Trevor Lawrence. Justin, obviously a lot of questions about Trevor coming in to 2025. What did you see from him in the preseason, and what do you think of him moving into the regular year?
I think with Trevor kind of goes the Jaguars feeling too. I think you can have a little bit of optimism. I think for Trevor, the thing is consistency and comfortability. He was not consistent last year. He wasn't comfortable last year. Then you add the fact that he suffered some pretty big injuries in terms of the shoulder injury that required surgery and the concussion late in the year. I think with Trevor, it's getting him comfortable in a new system. The footwork has been really kind of the drum is beaten on the footwork and the fundamentals that Grant and Liam have really tried to emphasize with Trevor. So I think, cautious optimism with him. I think he looked really good in the preseason in the small sample size in games. I mean, his passing efficiency was really good. I know he didn't have as good of a day in that joint practice where a lot of the starters were playing in Miami. But I think Trevor, he's got the talent and the tools. It's just been about putting it together mentally and getting through his reads and being comfortable when you're not the most comfortable. And I think he's failed and struggled to do that with Doug Peterson. So I'm cautiously optimistic that he can put all things together in year 5.
Justin Barney of Channel 4. If I had a quarter for every time I've said the name Travis Hunter over the last 4 months, Justin, I would have a bunch of quarters. But finally, we get to see it on Sunday in a game that matters. Wide receiver, defensive back, how much will he play at each position? What is your thought on Travis Hunter heading into Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, I think he was the best player in the draft. He showed in years at Colorado that he could handle the workload, and I think that's the biggest thing with Travis Hunter to me in playing both ways is can a body that is really, really slight. If you've not seen Travis Hunter up close, he's a slight kind of guy in terms of his frame. So I just worry about him being able to hold up under a full 17-game season in the NFL. I don't think that there's a question on the talent. Is that there? He's certainly got the talent to make it, to put it all together. I'm not at all concerned about that. It's just I wonder physically if he can hold up to the ruggedness on both sides of the ball. And talk about playing a snap count that hasn't played in the NFL since the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I mean, that's a lot of expectations and physical demands. And it's one thing for James Gladstone and Liam Cohen to say that Travis, their anticipation is to do Travis like he did at Colorado and play that much. It's a different thing to say it in the offseason and then in the preseason. And I think it's probably a different thing to feel and say once things get in November and the wear and tear on the body. So I'm really interested to see if Travis can hold up as the Jaguars, and certainly Travis thinks he can do.
We talk so much about the players coming into the regular season. It'll be Liam Cohen's first game as a head coach. It'll be Anthony Campanile and Grant Udinski's first games as coordinators. Certainly some pressure on those guys in their first appearances in an NFL regular season game in their new roles.
Yeah, and I think they're going to probably get a lot of scrutiny if things don't go wrong, and the inexperience will be brought up at some point, whether that's in week 1 or week 10. But hey, I like it, and my colleague Jamal St. Cyr and I talk about getting the guys before they become the guys, and I think there's something to be said about tapping a Gladstone who's kind of been cultivated and cut out for this moment, and a Liam Cohen who's kind of been prepared for this moment, just didn't have that name recognition and the experience. So I do think there is something to be said about being able to identify talent in terms of coaching and put them all together. And let's see, it didn't work out last year for Ryan Nielsen with the Doug Peterson hire. But you got to like what you've seen so far in practice, at least from Anthony Campanile's defense. And hey, I'm all in on the young guys. They've taken the tried and true and the veteran coaching additions before, and it hasn't worked out. So why not give the younger guys a shot?
Couple of more for Justin Barney of Channel 4. Justin, final Jaguar question. Look, I don't believe there's any such thing as a must-win game week 1 of the NFL regular season. Having said that, on paper, there is no doubt, Justin, this on paper is the easiest of the first 5 Jaguar opponents. Knowing what's after the Carolina game, how much of a must-win, I guess, is this on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's big because, I mean, Carolina is thinking they're in that next cut, and Bryce Young is ready to take that next step. And certainly the last time you played Carolina, you won like 26-0 and stayed in contention for the AFC South title in 2023. And I think it's a different Jaguars team. I think maybe different expectations in a little bit. I mean, Jacksonville in no way, shape, or form, talent-wise, should be a team coming off of a 4-13 season. And I think Jacksonville's closer to contention than Carolina is. And if you come in and lay an egg where you're a 3.5-point favorite and you can't get the offense going, I do think there will be questions of, it's the same old Jaguars. What are we got our hopes up for nothing. But I think if you can come out and set a tone and put things together offensively, keep Trevor clean, and if Trevor can make some good throws and hang on to the ball and not turn it over, then I do think it's the start of something that could be remarkable here in Jacksonville.
Justin, as we wrap up, that'll be the story Sunday afternoon, the story Friday night, the stories that you and I will be following on Friday Night Lights and 4+ with our streaming show 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock on the social media platforms of 1010XL and of you guys over there at Channel 4. It is the best Friday night schedule that we've had in the young season, headlined by one of the best games in the state of Florida Friday night when St. Augustine travels to Bowles.
Yeah, it's a great game, and that was our game of the week last year, only for it to have a monsoon down at Foots Brumley Stadium and wipe that game out, and it wasn't rescheduled. So looking forward to that game. You know, last year it would have been a different setting. You have Lachlan Hewlett at quarterback and Carl Jenkins Jr. at running back, but those guys have graduated and moved on, and now it's the different guys. You know, Jaden Weatherly is a kid at Bartram Trail, quarterback, who's seen St. Augustine before during his time at Bartram and knows that defense. So you're not getting a rookie quarterback at Bowles for any stretch of the imagination. Jaden has looked really, really good. And St. Augustine has got some ballers at receiver, Julio Santiago and Samorian Wingo, Trendell Anderson at running back, Darrell Preston in the backfield. You've got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. I just question if St. Augustine can make it away around that Bowles defense. But really looking forward to that. Those teams are 1-3 in my Super 10. So it is going to be a collision of heavyweights on Friday night, Hacker. Glad you and I get a chance to talk about it and drop in on that game.
Yeah, again, I don't know how many better games in the state of Florida there will be on Friday night than St. Augustine and Bowles. That's the headliner, Justin, but the rest of them are very good as well. You got the battle for Clay County with Fleming Island, Oakleaf. I really like Ponte Vedra, Baker County, Bishop Kenny, Toccoa Creek. And there's a really nice game as well, Jacksonville versus Tallahassee, when Nice welcomes Tallahassee Lincoln.
Yeah, big test for Nice. They've been one of my surprise teams, and I may have underestimated a little to begin with all the graduations they had on the offensive side of the ball. Man, dropped 50 last week on Creekside. That's pretty good, but Tallahassee Lincoln is the biggest challenge for Nice so far in this early part of the season. They're 2-0 as well, coming in to the Panthers' house on Friday night. That's a really, really good game. But, man, Colin Draft has got to feel pretty confident with what he's gotten out of his younger team in a lot of spots. And will be interesting. Be another test for Nice to see what it can do as it continues to move up my Super 10 rankings, and I think statewide as well too. Big challenge for the Panthers though on Friday night. A lot of good games. We've got Ware County at Bartram Trail. Big chance for Bartram to get out of the hole. Toccoa, you mentioned at Bishop Kenny. Really some good games. Range, Trinity Christian. A lot to like about Friday week 3 schedule.
Yeah, of course, Justin and I will be breaking it down 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Friday Night Lights on 4+. You can stream the show on the social media platforms on 1010XL and at Channel 4. And then, of course, Sunday, Justin, with the Jaguar coverage. What do you guys have coming up on Channel 4 this Sunday?
Yeah, we do something every year. We started last year for home games, and we'll do it again at Teal Gate. We have get out there and mingle with the fans and have a set over there in the slab. And Alessandra and Jamal will be hosting the show. We'll be out mingling and talking with fans. They can catch that on TV or on our stream. And it's just a way to get fans kind of in the mood for the game and be out amongst them in Jaguars home games. Really had fun last year doing it. Had fun in the preseason game, even though the weather was a little bit less than ideal. But, man, we are looking forward to being out there bright and early on Sunday morning with the Jags.
Should be a terrific weekend. Friday Night Lights, of course, college football on Saturday, and then the Jaguars and the Panthers Sunday, 1 o'clock. And you will hear that game right here on 1010XL. Justin Barney of Channel 4. Justin, have a terrific week. I'll see you on Friday for Friday Night Lights beginning at 7 o'clock.
Take care, Hack. Thanks for having me.
And thank you to Justin Barney of Channel 4 for joining us tonight here on Hacker After Dark. Always enjoy talking Jaguar football with Justin. And you can see Justin and myself at 7 o'clock this Friday on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4 for Friday Night Lights on 4+, as we will be talking about all the action from around high school football in Northeast Florida as it is going on live. I know we'll do live look-ins for Bowls and St. Augustine. That'll be the big matchup, but there's so many good games this week. Certainly looking forward to getting back with Justin Barney Friday night, 7 o'clock on the social media channels, streaming live on the social media platforms of Channel 4 and 1010XL. From 7 until 9 this Friday for Friday Night Lights. Well, that will just about do it, man. We spent a lot of time on some high school ball tonight, a lot of time on college football as well, as all eyes begin turning to this weekend's action. South Florida and the Florida Gators, the big game nationally, Oklahoma, Michigan, Oklahoma State, Oregon has some intrigue now. You got the first SEC game of the year with Ole Miss visiting Kentucky. But as you can imagine, a lot of tonight was about the Jacksonville Jaguars. We met with Liam Cohen earlier today. I was down in the Jaguar locker room earlier today as the Jaguars are getting ready for the Carolina Panthers Sunday at 1 o'clock. And, of course, you will hear that game right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. We have a ton of people to thank for tonight's broadcast. First and foremost, thank you. We always appreciate you listening to Hacker After Dark each and every night here on 1010XL. And on this Wednesday evening, we have a ton of people to thank. We got Justin Barney of Channel 4. Always appreciate Justin coming on. Thank you to the coach, Gerald Ingram. He will join Leon Searcy and myself for the fifth quarter this year on 1010XL, 2 hours after the Jaguars games go final. Coach Ingram, 18 years of NFL coaching experience, including a couple of Super Bowl rings when he was the running back coach for the New York Giants. So appreciate Gerald Ingram for joining us tonight. Max Chadwick, PFF. He is the college football host for PFF. Always enjoy talking college ball with Max. Back in hour number 1, we had the former Pro Bowler. You hear him every day on XL Primetime, my buddy Leon Searcy. He likewise will be on the fifth quarter with us this year. And in the Jaguar locker room earlier today, I had one-on-one conversations with defensive lineman DeJuan Smoot and defensive back Jordan Lewis. It was a very busy evening, and we thank all those people for joining us tonight here on Hacker After Dark. Now, we will be back tomorrow night on a Thursday as the NFL season kicks off. How about that? Are you kidding me? It'll be the Eagles and the Cowboys tomorrow night. We'll be here to break it down beginning at 8 o'clock. We will give our NFL division predictions as well. So we certainly are looking forward to that. Dylan Denmark was your producer tonight. Dylan, great job as always. I'm the hacker Ryan Green.